YouTube channel dedicated to people that are 30 to 50 that want to learn from two 40-year-olds experience, different life experiences of training in the gym. We've covered 6 different shows, or this is show number 6, or video number 6, depending on what you want to call it. And today we're talking about our least favorite supplements, because I definitely have a couple of supplements that I've tried and don't take, and I don't think are good value. And I'm sure, Adam, you've got a few too that you think are perhaps just overpriced or underperform. And yeah, look, I'll start with you, Adam. What's your least favorite supplement, without naming a brand so we don't get sued or seem to be derogatory?
Yeah, sure. I've never been a fan of Tribulus.
Oh,
I
really?
haven't. No, I haven't really read the research, to be honest. So to be
Yeah,
fair, it's the reason why I haven't been a fan is A, when it first came out, it was bloody expensive,
yeah,
and secondly, as I was saying previously on another video, because of the results I got from timing and taking and using the correct amount of protein and just through training, I was happy with that. So I didn't think that a boost from something like that was going to help. But yeah, you might have a different experience, and I
Oh,
think
look,
you have.
I kind of like Tribulus. I don't take it that often anymore, but I have taken it in the past. And for those that don't know, Tribulus is a herb, in effect, if you want to call it that, that is in some way meant to contribute to your raising your testosterone levels. And I'm questionable about whether there's much value in it, though, Adam. So I'm a little bit like you to some extent in that I think it raises your free testosterone, but it doesn't actually help in the long run. So, but it's cheap now, Adam. Like, I don't think it's very expensive anymore.
Okay, well,
The problem is, what other people put in with it? Like, you can't easily, unless you go to like a herbalist or something like that, buy straight Tribulus. You generally get it with a test booster with mixed with other stuff. So it's hard to tell what ingredients working in that case, or not working.
yeah.
So, well, yeah, Tribulus. That's interesting. You'd say that there'd be a lot of people on the internet spending an awful lot of money on it, or buying test boosters that may or may not work. I think that marginally might raise your test levels rather than massively raise them. So,
Well, I guess I'm saying I think there's other things you can do that that don't might cost as much or
yeah,
don't cost as much that you're going to get far. Like I think timing of your protein is more important than
sure.
taking Tribulus and getting perhaps a small benefit out of taking it.
Yeah, and I think I've read some papers on this, and I think there's questionable. The studies are usually questionable whether the results are or inconclusive about whether it really works or not. Well, my least
Yeah.
favorite is, maybe you like it, is a pre-workout. I've tried 3 or 4 different brands of pre-workout without naming them. They're either loaded up with so much caffeine that I then can't drink coffee during the day, which I try to have 1 or 2 glasses of it or cups of it, but I can't sleep well off it. And we talked in the last one, sleep's the most important thing. And I train of an evening, so if I have a pre-workout at 5 o'clock in the afternoon and then train at 6, or 5:30 in the afternoon and train at 6, I then can't go to sleep. And if they weren't loaded with caffeine, maybe they would work. Oh, well, maybe they wouldn't work then. Where do you stand on pre-workouts, Adam? Because they're bloody popular. Like, I think they're up there with the most popular supplements that people take now.
Yeah, look, I've had good experiences and bad experiences. Even recently, I had a free sample of one and I tried it and it blew my head off.
Really?
In terms of the stimulation effect, it was probably too much. I was too jittery, and the jitteriness lasted for
Yeah,
halfway through the day. So I can understand your point of view in that if you had that, I can understand that you wouldn't be able to sleep. I wouldn't have been able to sleep if I'd had it at night.
yeah.
But one of the things I got from that particular one was I had a great muscle pump. So there was B vitamins, there were other things in it, and the
Beta-alaine
workout
is
was a very
popular.
good workout. I was just jittery for most of the day, and I was talking to a trainer there, and we were talking about pre-workout drinks, and it was funny. He was saying that you can always tell someone's had a pre-workout because I'll come up and go, "How you going, guys? I was there the other day, and I went down the street, and blah, blah, blah." And they talk in a million miles an hour, and it's like,
Hey, that's what I
it's quite
naturally
funny.
speak like. So,
No, it's like, got to go and do another set, goodbye, bye, bye, and they run off and
yeah.
do another set.
Is it
So,
because they're
look,
loaded with
I
caffeine?
think they have their place, but you've got to be careful because, like you said, some are way loaded up with caffeine.
Yeah. I took one that had 300 milligrams of caffeine in it, and I love caffeine, it said don't drink coffee with it, and it's like I had to think about that for a minute. 300 milligrams would be way more caffeine than, in my opinion, you should have in the whole day. That's an awful lot. That's like five.
Well, it's the equivalent of about 3 standard cups of coffee at once.
Yeah, that's just too much. And I just find that effect of it's not good. And I guess my other least favorite ones would be the ones that are expensive that don't seem to perform. And I don't have I don't have another supplement that I don't like, but I do know that when I go into the supplement shop or if I buy it online, there's a bunch of exotic supplements that I've seen over the counter, and the cost in like fat burners. There's a lot of expensive fat burners that, again, if you were taking a pre-workout and a fat burner, the amount of caffeine you could get could be extraordinary. So, like, a lot of the
Yeah.
fat burners just seem to be, again, loaded with caffeine. And my advice to people is don't take both of those things. Well, my experience is don't take both of those things, because a pre-workout and a fat burner, in my opinion, is a recipe for no sleep or worse.
That's probably one of my other least favorites, fat burners. I just don't see the value in them.
Yeah,
Most of the ingredients are natural. You've got your willow woods, you've got your bitter orange extracts.
green tea.
It's based on pharmaceutical effect.
Yeah,
You can go and buy a lot of those things in the pharmaceutical form in a much stronger dose and do that. And quite frankly, I don't think they do a lot anyway.
no,
So I think you're wasting your money on fat burners. I think go and do some cardio, watch your diet. You're going to get much better results.
yeah. I totally agree with you, and I think it's a
Ca-
dodgy combination.
I mean, caffeine has its place. Yes, caffeine is thermogenic. Yes, it can help you to burn fat. Agree with all that. But you're better off managing it yourself, having cups of coffee, taking just caffeine, no dose, whatever, and managing it yourself rather than having it in a pre-workout with all the other stuff in it that you probably don't need.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of stimulants, I just got a text message on my phone saying the Health and Fitness Expo's on. A little funny thing about that, when I went to it last year, I didn't think about this. I walked around to all the booths trying samples, and it's like I couldn't sleep for like 2 days. It's like I should have thought about what samples I were trying from all the different booths, because there are too many stimulants in them. And I'm not even
Yeah,
joking about that. Like you'd try the pre-workout in a little sample thimble-sized cup from booth A, go to booth B, have a protein, go to booth C, take another sample of a product, and realize hey, I probably had like 300 or 400 milligrams of caffeine just walking in this half of the exhibition center. So if you go to an expo, be careful about what samples you try then and there. If you get the little sachet and take it home, great. But if you're drinking the sample there, you might want to think about, am I going to go to bed? Maybe that's why people get so excited by these expos. There's lots of
yeah. I was going to say it's stimulating you. It's making you feel good and run around and it's just trying to get you to buy more of their stuff.
it works. I'm sure of
Yeah,
that. But it's one of those things that I'm not a fan of stimulants per se, like that, like supplementing with stimulants, because I don't think it makes me stronger, and it probably doesn't make me focus more. Maybe if you had like issues with concentration and focus, they could work. But that those two supplements I find not either just not good value, but I don't think they're very healthy for me. So I
yeah,
know a lot of the younger guys that train at my gym are very into their pre-workouts, and they like to tell me about them. And it's like, that's great. You're 20, maybe you need them, but I'm 40, and I'm past that point of needing to take like a beta-alaine is the one that I think people take a lot of, which is like a beetroot extract or something like that. I'm not sure what it's from, but that gives you the great pump. But it also makes your skin feel a bit itchy and makes your
yeah.
like shaky and jittery. It's not maybe isn't necessarily the caffeine even that's making people shake and jitter. Even thinking about it's making me shake, Adam. So yeah, are there any particular ingredients that you find you have to stay away from, like in a pre-workout?
No, not for me personally.
And what's that
Yeah, the only
itchiness
problem.
caused by from people who are complaining about that?
Sorry.
Have you heard of people complaining about itchiness with pre-workouts?
Yeah, look, I get itchy.
And what's it
I get
from?
itchy from Sorry,
What do you think ingredients causing that?
I got no idea to be honest. I haven't done any research into it, but
Yeah,
yeah, it's probably to do with yeah, I don't know. I'd be lying if I said I do. So yeah,
sure. Well, I've heard it's the beta-alanine that might cause that, but again, I'm not. I'm just guessing there, so don't base it on that.
yeah,
I don't like
yeah,
my skin feeling like it's crawling. I like to be able to concentrate at the gym, and being underneath a heavy weight and not like being stimulated is not my idea of fun. So
Yeah.
I think it could be a little bit dangerous too. From like at 40 to be too stimulated, you could easily find yourself having a heart condition or a heart problem. So, and I think,
Well, yeah, that's one of the things that I've noticed is that, you go and do cardio and you've had a pre-workout and suddenly instead of the usual 140 per minute beats heartbeat, it's up to the 165, 170
yeah,
because you've had the pre-workout. So, I mean, how safe is that really for you?
I don't think very. And also with a lot of the pre-workouts, they always try to outdo each other. The last one I took, and that was kind of the last straw for me, was one that had a test booster built into it as well. And which was fine, like in itself, but I would hop on the treadmill and I would already felt like I've been running, and I was just like, this isn't good. So
Yeah,
I then had to stop doing cardio till I finished that jar of test booster with pre-workout in. It's from one of the main brands, and it was bloody expensive too. And I thought, here I am paying $80 for this jar of stuff that I thought would work, but it didn't. And the thing about maybe you and I at this age and experience level, and I hope other people get the message, is if it doesn't work, stop doing it. Like, I don't
yeah,
see that as good value, spending $80 a month for a pre-workout that made me felt shaky, made me felt like my heart was racing already, and sort of
yeah.
detracting from the whole experience. So, yeah, least favorite is the ones that give you expensive whiz and don't work. So,
Yeah, I think that's a good point. So when it's glowing in the dark, you're just getting rid of it. So what's the point?
yeah, I don't think there is a point. You're just making somebody richer and yourself poorer, and you don't feel better for it. And I think that at 40, you reckon that's a good indicator of like whether you're taking too many vitamins and supplements, Adam, without being too crude about it.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, and
Yeah, of course it is. Certainly the B vitamins give the colour. So if you've got, I mean, there's different drugs that cause colour in urine. There's all sorts of substances that cause the colour, that can cause colour. But I mean, with supplementation, the B vitamins are the obvious ones. So
yeah,
if it's bright fluoro, if it's
oh,
burning a hole in your retina because it's glowing so much, then yeah, you're obviously pissing your money down the toilet. So
literally. So
literally, yes.
it's almost like drinking alcohol. One of my
Well,
friends once told me, "You don't buy alcohol, you only rent it." And I was like, "Yeah, I don't like renting supplements." So
yeah.
thank you very much, Adam. And I think
All
we'll
right. Thanks, Luke.
be doing a few more of these. So we'll do one a week, hopefully, for our people watching this. And remember, Quest for Fit and subscribe to keep up to date with our new ones. And thanks for watching. Till next time. Cheers.